All right, so, we're always diving into some pretty wild tech here, but this one takes the cake, I think. A buddy of mine sent me this YouTube video. It's for a service, fasterboot.times, and get this. They claim their AI can write entire books, like cover to cover, entire books. And not just, write them for fun, but like actually get them up on Amazon, ready to sell. I don't know about you, but that almost feels like cheating, Rob.
Definitely raising some eyebrows out there. But honestly, the whole idea is not as crazy as it would sound even just a few years back. AI writing tools are getting seriously good and fast. They use this thing called natural language processing, which is basically like feeding them tons and tons of text and code so they learn how to write like us.
Okay, see, now that's what has me hooked. How does it actually work? The video makes it sound ridiculously easy. Like you pick what kind of book you want, could be fiction, nonfiction. They even had like cookbooks. Then you tell a little about, who the book's for, what it's about. Basically like the blurb you'd see on the back, right? And then boom, instant bestseller. Is that how it goes?
Well, hold your horses. It's not quite instant anything just yet. These AI programs, these large language models as they're called, they're getting good, yeah, at following instructions and spitting out something that looks like a book, but readable doesn't mean good, right? The video kept bragging that their books can get past AI detectors, but that's kind of the point, isn't it?
So it's like AI trying to outsmart
Yeah,
other AI. Whose bluff are we calling here?
exactly. The real test isn't just tricking some algorithm. It's whether AI can write something with, the good stuff. Nuance, originality, the feeling you get reading a book by an actual person. Algorithms haven't quite figured that part out.
Right, that makes sense. But okay, let's just say for a minute the AI does spit out something halfway decent. The video claims this whole thing takes like 5 minutes. 5 minutes. That's like barely enough time to choose what I'm watching on Netflix.
Yeah, the speed is a big deal. And that's where things get really interesting when you think about self-publishing. Amazon, everyone knows, you can upload pretty much anything. So technically, yeah, you could list your AI novel right now. Boot.
And this is important.
Amazon's going to catch on. Like they have AI police or something.
Well, there's the legal side of it. Amazon has rules, right? Terms of service, and using AI without saying so, that could be against those rules. But even beyond that, there's a bigger question here about being upfront with readers. Like, would people feel differently knowing a book wasn't written by a person? It's a whole new world, and nobody knows the rules yet.
I gotta say, part of me is like waving a giant skeptic flag right now. But then there's this other part, the part that spent like 5 years trying to outline a novel. And I can't help it, the possibilities are kind of getting to me. Oh, it's disruptive for sure. I mean, imagine, right? Someone who knows their stuff, like inside and out, some niche topic, but they're not a writer. This tool, it could be their way in. Suddenly, experts of all kinds are publishing, sharing what they know. That's kind of cool.
And what about folks like me?
Yeah.
Tons of ideas, always buzzing.
Yeah.
But let's be real, actually writing the darn thing, not so much. Is this how we finally get those stories out of our heads, you think? Like onto the virtual shelves and all that?
That's where it gets really interesting, right? We're not just talking about a new way to write. It's a whole new way to think about authorship, about creativity itself. Like, if the AI is doing the heavy lifting, does that free us up to focus on the heart of it, all the emotions, the big ideas, the stuff that really grabs readers?
It'd be like having a superpowered writing partner in the room. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Churning out drafts while you pace around, get coffee, come up with the good stuff. Benson Hop,
Yeah.
and maybe I'm hung up on this. What about quality? How do you know what you're getting with this thing?
Mm-hmm.
The video makes it sound like a sure thing, but there's got to be a catch, right?
Yeah, good point. Caution's never a bad thing here. Don't forget, these AI tools, they're only as good as the info they learn from and the code that makes them tick. There's always that risk. Bias creeping in, maybe it's inaccurate or just flat. Technically a book, but like no soul, you know?
So even with AI writing our novels, it's buyer beware, eh? What's the average Joe supposed to do? How do we navigate this whole thing?
Critical thinking, always. Just because someone says it's amazing, especially about something as subjective as writing, doesn't make it true. If this fasterboot.times has you curious, fine, but do your homework, look for reviews. But the real ones, yeah. People who've used it, good and bad.
Not just those shiny 5-star reviews, you're saying. Find the people digging deeper, finding the flaws, the stuff they don't want you to know.
Exactly. We're early days here, remember? This tech is a baby, basically. Gonna be some stumbles, things nobody expected. Probably some cautionary tales, too, if we're being honest. That's how it always goes when something this big comes along.
Man, it all feels very early internet days, doesn't it? Like huge excitement, nobody knows what's going on. but this feeling that things are about to change big time.
And just like back then, the folks who figure it out fastest learn to use these tools well. They're the ones who'll come out on top. It's not about humans losing to AI. It's about us working with it, finding those new ways to tell stories, share knowledge. It'll be wild.
Okay, so we've talked good stuff, potential problems, and basically not being a sucker when AI is involved. But zoom out for me for a sec. Where does this all go? Like, big picture.
Now that's the million-dollar question.
It's like we're standing on the edge of something massive, you know? Like, picture this. Anyone, anywhere, with an internet connection can suddenly be a published author. What does that even do to the whole publishing world?
Yeah, that's the question, isn't it? It's on everybody's mind, and for good reason. If being an author is suddenly easy, like really easy, think of the floodgates opening. Self-published books everywhere, which, hey, maybe that's good, right? More voices, more weird new stuff getting out there.
It's like the Wild West, only with, like, AI sheriffs or something. But that sounds kind of chaotic too, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Problem one, in a world of AI books, how do you know which ones are good? Readers are going to be drowning in choices. Hard to tell the good from the, well, you get the idea.
And how can you even review a book when you don't even know if a human wrote it?
Yeah.
It's like, what does author even mean anymore?
You got it. That's the heart of it right there. We're having to rethink the whole thing. Creativity, originality. Did a machine make this? Or a person? No easy answers, but these are conversations we gotta have.
And it's not just novels either, is it? This AI writing thing, it goes way beyond news, marketing, heck, even schools. Anything that uses the written word is caught up in this.
Exactly. We've already got AI articles popping up, social media posts, even movie scripts, believe it or not. The line between us and the machines getting blurrier by the day.
It's exciting, I'll give it that. But kind of spooky too, you know? Like, what if we get so used to AI doing it, we forget how to write ourselves? Is that too out there?
Nah, I don't think human creativity is going anywhere. If anything, this pushes us, right? Make us focus on what we do bring to the table. The feelings, the storytelling, the things AI can't replicate. Yet, at least.
So not us versus the machines, but like working together, using their strengths, playing to ours.
Bingo. And like any powerful tool, it's on us to use it right. Ethically, thoughtfully. Aiming for something good with it, you know?
Man, this has been one for the books. We've gone deep, folks. How AI writing works, what it means for creativity, for authors, for anyone who consumes basically anything with words, ever.
And even with all that, we're just scratching the surface. This thing is changing by the day. Exciting time to be along for the ride, that's for sure.
So to everyone listening, if we've got you curious, awesome. Go do your own digging. Stay informed. And most importantly, don't stop asking the tough questions. The future of writing might be wilder than we can even imagine right now, but hey, that's half the fun.
The best stories are always the ones you don't see coming, right?
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself. And on that note, we'll wrap up this deep dive. Thanks for joining us, everyone. And until next time, happy reading.